Thoroughbred racing update. The latest news, a new jockey for Tiz the Law. Going to be scheduled for the Pegasus Stakes January 23rd at Gulfstream Park, the championship meet at Gulfstream Park. And interesting decision. There's been a little scuttlebutt the last few days. Barclay Tagg, the trainer of Tiz the Law, was not happy after the Breeders' Cup Classic with the ride on Tiz the Law. Of course, Manny Franco has been the rider for Tiz the Law, and you kind of got to go back to his first loss underneath the lights and at the Twin Spires of Churchill Downs. He got a little bit trapped on the backstretch, and he lacked some racing room coming into the stretch. And of course, he ended up losing that race, but he really did have a hole late in that race, and he just kind of got outfinished on a sloppy surface. So I'm not saying he had the most comfortable trip that day, but I'm not so sure that that was the reason why Tiz the Law ended up losing that race. And then a lot of people point to the first race of the 2020 campaign, the Holy Bull, where for just a couple of seconds, Tiz the Law was a little bit rank and had to settle before shifting to an outside spot. And then, of course, he dominated in the Florida Derby, had a perfect trip, was able to secure a good position in the Belmont Stakes, got a good trip. And then probably his best ride was the aggressive ride in the Travers Stakes. I thought Manny Franco rode him well. What he did in that race was he was either instructed or took it upon himself to kind of go after Uncle Chuck, who you didn't really know going into that race what he was going to do. And so that aggressive ride allowed him to kind of overhaul him early and then draw off to the big victory in the Travers Stakes. Meanwhile, the Kentucky Derby, he sat on the outside of Authentic, got even with him, and as it turned out, he was just kind of out kicked down the lane. I don't think it was a bad ride there. Now, the Breeders' Cup is where it gets a little bit interesting. Tiz the Law, if you watch the replay, broke on top of the field, and he had the inside post position, and he elected to kind of pull him back, and then when Authentic kind of secured that two wide position, and then Tiz the Law got a little bit shuffled back to fifth or sixth, and then the race was pretty much over. Tiz the Law offered nothing, and he was a little bit ranked training up the last couple of weeks in his workouts up to the Breeders' Cup Classic. So I thought the workouts were very sharp. I thought that he was ready to run a good race. So whether it was the position on the track being inside the other horses or maybe just getting shuffled back could have cost a little bit of position for Tiz the Law. Now, they've announced that John Velasquez is going to ride him in the Pegasus Stakes, and of course John Velasquez has been riding well. He rode Authentic to victory in the Kentucky Derby and the Breeders' Cup Classic. Also some heady rides with Gamine over the summer and in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. So John Velasquez riding as good as well. Now, they did frame this as John Velasquez rides at Gulfstream Park, so he can ride him in all the workouts leading up to the race, and then he can ride him on race day for the Pegasus World Cup on January 23rd. And remember, that's just a little over 2 months away. The Classic really couldn't have taken anything out of Tiz the Law, so it'll be interesting to see if they give him a prep race or if they train him up to that Pegasus World Cup. So that's the news. Tiz the Law, a new rider. What are your thoughts? New rider, a good decision? John Velasquez, the right man for the job? Hit subscribe, share this video with your other horse racing friends, and ring that bell for notifications as we continue to keep you up to date on the latest thoroughbred horse racing news.